Hey everyone, if you're gearing up for any banking or government exam, you know that keeping up with new policies is absolutely critical. Well, today we're decoding a really big one, the brand new reform agenda for India's public sector banks. Let's make sure you can nail any question that comes your way on this.
So the big question on everyone's mind is, in an economy that's changing so fast, what's the actual roadmap for India's largest banks? What's the game plan? Well, that plan has a name.
And that answer is EaseRise. This is it, the official public sector bank common reforms agenda for the financial year 2026. Now, here's a little nugget for your notes, something you'll definitely want to remember. EaseRise is also known as Ease 8.0. That means it's the 8th step in a really important reform journey.
But hold on, before we jump into the RISE part, let's back up a second. What does EASE even stand for? It's Enhanced Access and Service Excellence. Right from the beginning, the whole point of this was to make our public sector banks clean, smart, and efficient. Understanding this core idea is key to everything that follows. Okay, to make this super easy to digest and, more importantly, to revise, we've broken this down into 4 simple parts. We'll start with the journey of the EASE reforms. Then we'll decode the 4 pillars of EASE. We'll look at the specific indicators under each of those pillars. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the most important exam-ready takeaways. Ready to dive in? Let's do it!
All right, first up, the EASE reform journey. It's really important to get this. EaseRise didn't just pop up overnight. Nope, it's the latest chapter in a long story of evolution that began years ago. Just take a look at this timeline. You can literally see the story unfold. We started back in FY19 with the fundamentals, like being responsive and responsible. But then, see how the theme changes? The focus shifts hard towards tech and digital. You see it going from smart tech-enabled banking to enhanced digital experience. This whole journey is what sets the stage for the much bigger agenda we have today with EaseRise. Okay, let's get to the main event. This is the part you absolutely 100% need to remember for your exams. We're talking about the core framework of EaseRise, and it's all built on 4 fundamental pillars.
Think of it like this. These 4 pillars you see here, they're holding up the entire EaseRise agenda. Every single reform, every initiative we're about to talk about fits neatly into one of these 4 boxes.
So the million-dollar question is, how on earth do you remember them? Well, we've got a super simple, powerful trick for you. Just remember the mnemonic RISE. That's it, RISE. That stands for Risk and Resilience, Innovation, Socioeconomic Impact, and Excellence. Burn that into your memory. RISE.
Okay, so you know RISE. Awesome. But what if the exam asks for the nitty-gritty details? What's inside each of those pillars? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now we're going to peel back the layers and look at the specific key indicators under each letter. Think of this as your command center for the next few minutes. You've got your 4 quadrants right here, R, I, S, and E, and each one has its own list of reforms. We're going to tackle them one by one, starting right at the top with R. First up, R for Risk and Resilience. I mean, it makes sense, right? In today's world, with all its ups and downs, building a banking system that can take a punch is non-negotiable. This pillar is all about making our public sector banks rock solid. So under risk, you've got 4 key things to watch: financial and credit risk, operational resilience, keeping technology up to date, and something that's super critical today, data quality and privacy. Now for the exam hack. Just remember the mnemonic FOTD. Simple. F financial, O operational, T technology, and D data. FOTD for risk. Got it? Okay, so we've built up the defenses. Now let's talk offense. That's I for innovation. This is the forward-looking, exciting part, all about using cool new tech and shaking up the old ways of doing things to stay ahead of the curve.
And what does that actually mean? Well, we're talking about bringing in things like generative AI, really pushing mobile-first banking, and just completely rethinking old business models. To lock this in, use the mnemonic ANRB. A, artificial intelligence, new age channels, reimagined models, and B, business process reengineering.
Next, we have S for socioeconomic impact. Now this one is huge because it directly connects everything the banks are doing to the bigger national goal of Viksit Bharat, or developed India. This is about banking with a purpose, making sure growth benefits everyone.
The focus here is threefold: making banking accessible for everyone, which is inclusive banking, ensuring it's sustainable for our planet, and, this is a really important update, empowering emerging segments. We're talking about real support for startups and gig workers, which shows the reform agenda is adapting to our modern economy.
And of course, we've got a super easy way to remember this. For the S pillar, just think ISE. Inclusive, sustainable, and empowering. ISE for socioeconomic impact. So simple.
And finally, we arrive at E for excellence. Because at the end of the day, after managing risk, innovating, and serving society, the banks still have to be, well, excellent at banking. This pillar is all about improving efficiency and overall performance.
This one's a bit bigger, with 5 key areas. The first 3 are about the business itself, managing advances and deposits, optimizing costs, and elevating the customer experience. The last 2 focus on internal strength, developing talent, and ensuring capital efficiency. Okay, it's a lot, so here's your mnemonic, ACCTC. That's A advances, C cost, C customer, T talent, and C capital. All right, team, deep breath. We've gone through a ton of information, but now it's time for the absolute most important part for your revision. We're going to boil everything down to one single power-packed summary. This is your ultimate exam-ready cram sheet.
Okay, get your phones out. You're going to want to screenshot this. Let's do a rapid-fire recap. Full form, EASE is Enhanced Access and Service Excellence. Current version, we're talking EASE Rise, also called 8.0 for FY26. The core framework, just remember RISE. R is for risk and resilience. Your mnemonic is FOTD. I is for innovation. Mnemonic ANRB. S is for socioeconomic impact, linked to Viksit Bharat, and the mnemonic is ISE. And finally, E is for excellence, with the mnemonic ACCTC. Bam! That's your cheat sheet.
And there you have it, your complete guide to EASE Rise. As we've seen, this whole thing is constantly evolving, so that leaves us with one final question for you to chew on. As India's economy transforms with fintech and AI, what do you think EASE 9.0 will focus on? Something to think about. For now, all the very best for your exams, and keep learning.